Hello, and welcome to the Fear Channel, a channel with regular broadcasts telling the most chilling of urban legends, ghost stories, and forays into the darkest corners of the human mind. Those faint of heart, or prone to night terrors, should proceed at their own risk. Tonight's story is titled The Face. A call had been made home to the Rance residence that day. It was from the local preschool concerning the son of one Mrs. Rance. The call was vague. The principal's secretary only mentioned that there had been an incident at the school involving her son, and that she should make an appearance right away. Worrying for her son's safety, Mrs. Rance left immediately to find out what had happened. Upon entering the school, Mrs. Rance was confronted by her son's teacher. "Mrs. Rance, I need to speak with you for a moment." She nodded before following her son's preschool teacher into the other room. "Your son Corbin drew this picture today," she said as she handed her a piece of paper. She looked at the picture in confusion since all there seemed to be were scribbles and smiley faces. The teacher tapped the paper, pointing out multiple faces with X's for eyes and grimacing mouths full of teeth. "Your son says he's been seeing this face in his room at night and that it scares him to death. I thought you should look in his room and see if anything makes this shape, and you should remove it." Relieved that her son had not been harmed, Mrs. Rance assured the teacher that the cause of this fear would be removed. When she got home, she promptly took her son to his room and asked where he had seen the face in his picture. "Right there," he said, pointing to the small mirror hanging next to his bed. "Okay, then we'll just take it down," she said, as she pulled the mirror off his wall. She opened his closet and set in the mirror far in the back. Closing the door again, she turned and smiled. There, now no more scary faces. Her son smiled for a brief moment, and soon ran off to go play with his sister. Much later that night, she recapped the events to her husband as they laid in bed. "There must have been something reflecting in that mirror making the shape of a mouth and eyes," he yawned as he turned out the light. While her husband was able to fall asleep immediately, his words did little to quell his wife's anxiety. "Whatever caused that shape in the mirror must still be in that room," she thought to herself. "Perhaps I should take a look now that it's dark, in case he can still see it." She slipped out of the bedroom and quickly made her way up the stairs. Her son's light was on, so she knew something had to be wrong. She stood in the doorway for a moment, waiting for her eyes to adjust to the light. "Corbin, honey, you really should go back to bed." He was standing inside of the closet at this point, right in front of the mirror staring at his reflection. It was difficult to see exactly what was going on, so Mrs. Rance peered in closer. She slowly realized that the face in the mirror was not her son's, but a mangled face with gashes across its eyes. She let out a small gasp as her son and the creature tilted their heads to the side in unison. The creature grinned, revealing tiny sharp teeth. She stumbled back while the creature opened his mouth and spoke with her son's sweet voice. "Do you see it too, Mommy?"